What's up YouTube? It's Mick from Mick Focus Photography, and today I'm out here with the family hauler, my trusty Mitsubishi Outlander. And today I'm out here with my three trusty lenses. I have my Sigma 17-50 f2.8. I have my 50mm Canon that is a 1.8, sorry. And then I also have my Canon 70-200 f4. So stay tuned, and we'll be right with you on the other side. Now I'm currently about 7 meters away from the car, give or take. It's 7 paces, so you know, roughly about 7 meters. Now what I'm going to do, I've currently got the Sigma 17-50 on there. I've got it at 1/500th of a second. I'm going to go f4 because that's the highest I've got on here, so I'll keep them all at that. And I've also got auto ISO, so roughly everything should be roughly the same on the settings. So I'll take the first shot. As you can see on there, that's currently at 17mm. Now we'll zoom it out to the 50. Okay, so that's at the 50mm with the Sigma. Now what I'm going to do, turn it back on with the 50mm. Now being that they're both 50mm, but this is a fixed focal length, as you can see, it's a hell of a lot smaller. Shouldn't be too much difference in distance, but it might give a bit of a crisper picture because of the lens itself. So let's check it out. So it has cropped it in slightly. That's interesting because they should both be at 50mm, but that's all right. All right, so what we'll do is I'll now swap this over to the 70-200 and show you what the real difference is. All right, so we're currently at 70mm. And right here, all the other settings are the same. We're still at f4, we're still at 1/500th of a second, and ISO is auto. Yeah. Can really get some good close-ups on the car. Now we're going to zoom in. I might just jump straight up to the 200. And holy moly, from here, that's a huge difference. So the only thing I can really see in that is the headlight. So it's 7 meters. On the 17, you can see the whole car with a bit of background. On the 200mm, all I can see is the headlight. So this would be awesome for doing up close shots if you wanted to, you know, sit behind a car and shoot towards it. Perfect for getting those up close shots. So what I'll do now is I'll keep the same shot, but I'll step back even further. So you see what distance I'll need to get at to be able to shoot these. Currently I'm back on the 17-50, so I'll take the same shot again. Now we're at 7 meters away. Sweet. Now I'm going to just go for a stroll back up the street there somewhere, and we'll go with the 50mm. This is the 50mm mark. Okay, so now I'm at I've walked back a bit. I'm at the 50mm mark now for the Sigma. I've stepped back to about 16 paces, so roughly 16 meters away from the car now, just to get the same shot. As you can see from where I was with the camera before, it's quite a bit of a distance to be away from the car just to get this shot. Now I'll take this one from here, and you'll see how much more of the background we can actually get into the shot from this distance. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the Canon 50mm on, and I think I'm going to have to step back a little bit more, maybe another meter or two, but we'll see where that gets me. Now we're actually okay with the 50mm staying in the same spot. To me, it looks okay so far. I haven't taken a shot yet, but we'll do that now. Doesn't look too different. Had I stepped back, say maybe a meter or two, it'd be exactly the same. But at this distance, it still has roughly the same crop. So the 50mm does crop it in slightly, but not enough to worry about. Okay, I'm gonna jump back to the 70 mark, and then for the 200, I'm just gonna walk back to the next suburb. So let's go from here. 70mm mark. Now we've got the big fella on, 70-200. It's probably better to see. At the 70mm mark, I'm now 26 paces away from the car. So that's about 26 meters away. That's a big hike. As you can see from my last shot, it's a fair distance. So now we'll just quickly jump in, we'll grab the shot. All the settings are exactly the same. Still at 1/500th, we're still at f4, and I've kept the ISO on auto just to let it allow for it's a bit of an overcast day and the sun keeps coming out and disappearing, so I'll let it organize itself. Again, another beautiful shot. You'll see the difference that it makes in the background. The further we get out, the more of the background we get in there. I'm going to step back to the 200 mark, which I believe is somewhere down there. So here we go. As you saw from that last shot, I'm now a fair distance away from the car. I'm actually at 60 steps away, so roughly 60 meters away. Now, for this distance kind of a shot, I really should be using a tripod because things get a bit wobbly and you don't want to get any blur or anything like that. So if you're going to shoot at this distance, you definitely want to get a tripod just to hold it steady. But I'm going to do the best I can. Now I hope that didn't turn out blurry because I was having issues trying to keep it steady, but you'll see from the photo how different it is. Maybe I should get out and use my 70 to 200 more because the images come out quite nice. Even though I have to sit half a kilometer away from the vehicle, it really does come out nice, but we'll see when we get into the editing side of things. Back on the flip side. All right, so we're back in the lab after spending the afternoon out shooting the family hauler. As you can see, I've got Lightroom open. I've now got our files in there. So let's dive right into it and I'll do the editing and show you the difference between the 50mm. What do you reckon? Sounds good. Let's do it. So now, as we jump into Lightroom, we have all the images of our cars here. Up here I've got the data so you can see exactly what's going. Now the first shot we took was a 17 to 50. I've just done some basic edits on that and I did actually use one of my own edits, harsh sunlight, because at the time the sunlight was pretty harsh. These are just a couple of my own presets that I've made for various conditions. As you can see, they go alright. But I've kept it with harsh sunlight just to bring that hit down. Now, next one we moved on to is our 50mm. Now this is the one that threw me a little bit, because as you can see, we've got 50mm on the 17 to 50. That's the Sigma 17 to 50 f2.8. 1/500 at f4 at ISO 100. Now if we jump across one here, exactly the same settings, but it's the 50mm, so the Canon EF 50mm. See how there's a bit of a difference in the crop there, and even the color tones. Now all the settings are exactly the same. If you look over here, they're exactly the same, nothing has changed. Slightly bluer, a little bit more yellow, but all the details are exactly the same. Now same thing up here, if we jump up to these two shots here that were from the distance, 50mm once again, and the 50mm. So the only difference that changed was the lens, but I was in exactly the same spot. All the details are exactly the same, nothing else has changed. But as you can see, the Canon has a fair bit more of a crop than what the Sigma does. So just be aware of that, but otherwise, all the other shots, they've come out pretty good. That's the 70mm, and that's the 200. With a difference in the background. You can see a lot less background, but see how this one's a little bit more sharper? With the same settings, the bokeh in the background and the car is nice and clean. It stands out. The distance between there drops away a bit. And the 17, perfect if you want to get up close to the car. But as you get further out, you can really see that quality difference. Once again, as always, if you like what you saw in the video, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe, wherever that's hiding. Don't forget to follow my page and stay tuned for the next one. Until next time, peace. Helps if I turn it on. Mainly because I pretty much just grabbed my camera and ran all the way up here. And I'm not the fittest of people at the moment, so I need a bit more exercise. It's not a very exciting car, but it carries stuff, carries my family, that's what it's for.